Good morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss about what are the different definitions of industrial relations, and you need to understand the scope and concept of industrial relations and objectives of industrial relations. Before going to definition of industrial relations, first definition according to V. Agnihotri, the term industrial relations explains the relationship between the employees and management, which stem directly or indirectly from union employer relationship. So, what is industrial relations means? You need to understand three kinds of relationship. For any organization, there are three actors. One is employer, employee, and government. So, to maintain harmonious industrial relationship, you need to maintain good relationship among these three actors who are directly or indirectly involved in making a good relationships between union and employers. Next, according to Tuyen Kapoor, the term industrial relations should be understood in the sense of labor management relations, as it pre-allocates into a wider set of relationships touching extensively all aspects of labor such as union personnel policies and practices including wages, welfare and social security, service conditions, supervision and communication, collective bargaining, etc. Attitudes of parties and governmental actions on labor matter. Through this definition, we will understanding what are the different aspects that an employee need working in an organization. An employee need a certain welfare activities which has to be provided by the employer. The T.N. Kapoor explains that what are the different factors of required by an employee who is working in the manufacturing industry. For example, if you are working in a manufacturing industry or you are working as an employee in an organization, you have certain requirements. So what would be the requirements? The union policy should support your interests also, and the personal policies, practices, including wages and process methods and job security, service conditions, and what are the requirements required, all come under the different factors required by an employee who are working in the manufacturing industry. And next we are going to discuss about the scope and concept of industrial relations. So you need to understand the concept of industrial relations means you need to understand how the labor relations were maintained in an organization. So first one is labor relations. So labor relations means a relationship between union and management. What is a union? Union means a group of employees formed under a trade union called as an union. A company can have any number of trade unions. A company can have any number of trade unions. It doesn't mean that a company should have only trade union. So for example, if a company is having 2000 employees, a company 2000 employees, a company can any number of trade unions among the 2000 employees. 1000 employees may join under one trade union, and 500 employees may join another union, 500 employees may join another union. So for it says that the company is having three trade unions. So if there is any bargaining, who is the majority bargaining among the three unions means the strongest union among the three is the employees having 1000 employees. And the next point is employer-employee relations, the relationship between management and employees. For any organization running smoothly, you need to maintain proper relationship with your employees. So employees are your assets of organization. If you take care of your employees very well, the employees will be take caring of the company. So if you are not take caring of the employees, if you are not concerned about the welfare of the employees, if you are not concerned about the communication patterns or communication methods you are using in the company, if it is not helpful for the employee won't show the loyalty and trust towards the management. To get the loyalty and trust towards the management, the relationship between the management and employee should be positive. Next, group relations, relationship between various workers of group. We all know that as an individual, we perceive in a different level. We have different attitudes, we have different perceptions, we have different thoughts, we have different experiences. So, for example, a group of employees working in a company doesn't mean that all group of the employees will have same kind of thoughts, same kind of attitudes. They will pursue the same things in the same way. So it differs from person to person. So it is also important to maintain good relations among the individuals who are working in the company. A individual may be among the workmen or individual may be among from the management side. And the next one is community or public relations, that is relationship between industry and society. So we do business for generating profits. To generate profits, you need to maintain a good relationship with the society, because how far the company is been supporting to the social campaign or social awareness campaigns conducted by the company, but to maintain public relations if the company supports the public requirements. So the relationship between industry and society is also very important for maintaining good industry relationship in the organization. Next, promotion and development of healthy labor management relations. It is not only the duty of the employees to maintain good relationship with the management, it is also duty of the management to maintain good relations. You need to promote good relations, how and develop healthy relations. So maintaining developing relations is not important. How far you are making healthy relationship between the management and employer is important, employees is important. If you doesn't have a good relationship among the employees or with the union members, it doesn't support any activity. Always they will be restricting the decisions made by the management. So it is also important to maintain good healthy relations, positive environment. You need to create a positive environment to maintain good labor management relationships. Next, maintenance of industrial peace and avoidance of industrial strife and development of industrial democracy. So, so maintenance of industrial peace means the main objective of industrial relation is to maintain industrial peace and harmonious among the employees. To achieve these two objectives, you need to avoid some kind of strives among the development, and then develop the industrial democracy in the company. And it continues, the scope of IR consists of three main factors. First factor is development of healthy labor management relationships. So how do you develop healthy management relationships? It is existence of well organized, democratic and responsible trade unions associations can lead to. These are the four important points you need to consider to maintain healthy labor management relationships. Job security of employees, increased workers' participation in management, negotiation, consultations, and discussions. And it leads to good labor management relationship. Job security of employees means you need to provide job security to the employees who are working in your organization. If it is on also, it is one of the important factor in the minds of employees also, whether we have it secured in our job or not. And the second point is you need to increase the participation of workers in the management decision making. So it was a concept developed, workers participation management, which helps the employees or trade unions to participate the decisions made at the middle level and top level sometimes. Next, it helps some if there is any problem, any disturbances, any unsatisfactory policies of you need to sit about the negotiations and consultations. You need to discuss a negotiation table, and in negotiation we will go for collective bargaining if related to a common agreement, and we will go for productivity bargaining, and it leads to good labor management relations. Next, maintenance of industrial peace. Industrial peace presupposes the absence of industrial strike. Industrial peace is essential for increased productivity and harmonious labor management relationships. So industrial peace means there are a lot of activities will be doing by the trade unions if it doesn't satisfied with the decisions made at the top level management or at middle level management. So sometimes the trade unions go for strikes, garrows, and the company might go for lockouts. So it affects the productivity of any company. So if it is affecting the productivity of the company, there is no harmonious relations among the management and the labor. So to maintain industrial peace, you need to maintain you need to consider two important points. One is machinery should be set up for the prevention and settlement of industrial disputes. For example, if an employee is dissatisfied with the policy, or some employee is dissatisfied with the regulations, or some employee is dissatisfied with the incentives policies, so there should be a machinery should be developed to prevent any dispute among the employees and among the employer and employees. So industrial peace can also be attained by creation and maintenance implementation cells and evaluation committees which have power to look into implementation of agreements, settlements, awards, and also violations of statutory provisions laid under the various labor laws. So in early slide we discussed about negotiation. In negotiation, both IR officer, the three actors we have discussed earlier, that is IR officer, government, and from government, employer and employees. Three parties will be sitting on the negotiation table. They do some negotiation bargainings, and they will come to a common agreements, and which has to be legally registered. So the evaluation committees will look into the agreements made at the time of negotiations from the both parties, and they go for settlements if there is any violation of statutory provisions which has to be provided by the employer, according to the labor laws. If they are not providing, the evaluation committee will see when to provide, how to provide, what are the requirements to be providing for the welfare of the employees. Through this, you can maintain industrial peace in the company. And last important point is development of industrial democracy. The idea of industrial democracy states that the labor should have the right to be associated with the management of an industry. To achieve this objective, the following techniques are usually employed. So, improving first point we'll be discussing is improving the working and living conditions of the employee. So, when you are paying properly, the wages, salaries according to the norms are laid by the central and state governments. So, you need to improve the conditions of working conditions of the employees also. So, improving working conditions means you need to increase the income level of an employee. Income level means when you are paying properly salaries, incentives, bonuses according to the laws, yeah, it automatically increases the economic buying power of an employee. So it helps improving their working and living conditions, improving productivity, encouraging sessions from all employees. So we do business to generate profits. To generate profits, you need more. You need to need the help of employees. So it is important to encourage the employers to take suggestions how to improve productivity. Does the employee make some recommendations for improvement in the company? So it helps for the improvement of the company or development of the individual as well as the company. Assisting the administration of laws and agreements. Assisting means according every time sometimes there might be changes in amendment laws, sometimes there might be agreements that happen between the employees and employers. It needs to be administered properly from the both parties, that is employer and employee. Serve as a channel of communication between management and employees. So to maintain industrial democracy, it is important whatever the decisions taken at the top level management with the help of the workers by participating through the management decision making. You need to create a proper communication channel between both the parties, creating among the employees a sense of participation in the decision making process and sense of belonging to the industry. So WPM is a concept which helps the employees thinks that the employer is making giving some kind of concern towards us, and making us to participate in the decision making process, which helps in developing the individual as well as the company. Next, these are the different objectives of industry relations. First one is development of healthy employer-employee relations. The main objective of industry relations, we might be discussing any kind of topic related to IR. The main objective must be, it must be a healthy relationship between the employer and employee. Next, to improve the economic conditions of the workers in the existing state, industrial management and political government. The government changes, sometimes the law changes, sometimes new amendments will be implemented in the laws. So it is the important of the, it is necessary to the management that you need to change the economic conditions of the workers. When you change the economic conditions of the workers, it leads to the buying power of the workers, of employees. When it is the buying power means when they are being buying, the economic GDP of the company as also the GDP of the country also increases. Next, state control and on industries for regulating production and promoting harmonious industrial relations. We all know that the third party is the government. The government of third party might be from the state government or it may be the central government. Socialization of industries by making state itself a major employee. There are some companies which were run by the under the state governments, or some companies which are run by the central government. So it helps to leads the socialization of industries for developing the economic and living conditions of the workers of its majority of its employees. Vesting of the proprietary interest of the workers in industries in which they are employed. So it is not only to make the employees participation in decision making, it is also important to involve them under as a management to make a better industries for the development of their individual as well as the company. And next, the safeguard the interest of the labor management by securing the highest level of mutual understanding and goodwill among all those sections in the industry which participate in the process of production. So you must have a good understanding in between the employers and employers. So when you have a good understanding which has been mutually developed by the both parties, it leads to a harmonious relationship among the employees as well as it develops the industrial peace among the industry and among the employees. Next, to avoid industrial conflict and strive they develop harmonious relations which are essential factors in the productivity of workers and the progress of a country. So there should not be any industrial unrest. So to maintain harmonious relationship, what it leads to? It leads to productivity of the workers. Next, to increase the productivity of their the full employment, lessening of the tendency of high turnover, to introduce the frequency of absenteeism. Labor absenteeism means when there is a harmonious, good relations maintained with a positive and healthy relationships maintained in the industry, automatically it reduces the employee turnover of the company. When it reduces the employee turnover of the company, there is a productivity, there is a higher chance of productivity increment. Next, to establish and promote the growth of industrial relations based upon the labor partnership, sharing of profits, managerial relations, so then that ban individuals' personality may grow its full stature of the benefit of the industry and of the country as well. So when you maintain harmonious industrial relations, when you maintain healthy relations, when you develop good relations among the employees, when you're making employee feel that they are the part of the company, automatically it relates a good personality in the minds of employees. It leads to development of the industry as well as the country. To eliminate and minimize the number of strikes, lockouts, and get-outs by providing reasonable wages, improved living and working conditions set by fringe benefits. So, when there is an industrial harmony, when there is a peace, when there is an industrial democracy, when the employees' income level, when their working conditions, when their living conditions all are increased, when employees feels towards loyalty, showing towards loyalty and trust among towards the company, automatically it leads to minimizing the strikes, lockouts, get by providing a reasonable wages. Thank you.